Krishna, welcome on to Shubhamangala Japa session Vishad Bhagavatam class. So, today we will discuss the all auspicious Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll discuss from first canto, chapter number 12, verse number 17. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 12, verse number 17. Tasman naman Vishnurata iti loke bhavishyati nasandeho mahabhagavato mahan. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Word to word meaning, Tasmat, therefore, Naman, by the name, Vishnurata, protected by Vishnu, the personality of Godhead, iti, thus, Loke, in all the planets, Bhavishyati, shall become well known. No, Sandeha, doubts, Mahabhaga, most fortunate, Mahabhagavat, the first class devotee of the Lord, Mahan, qualified by all good qualities. Translation. For this reason, this child will be known in the world as one who is protected by the personality of Godhead. O most fortunate one, there is no doubt that this child will be a first-class devotee and will be qualified with all good qualities. Purport. The Lord gives protection to all living beings because He is the supreme leader. The Vedic hymns confirm that the Lord is the supreme person amongst all personalities. The difference between the two living beings is that the personality of God, it provides for all other living beings, and by knowing Him, one can achieve eternal peace. This is from Katha Upanishad. Such protection is given by his different potencies to different grades of living beings. But as far as his unalloyed devotees are concerned, he gives the protection personally. Therefore, Maharaj Parikshit is protected from the very beginning of his appearance in the womb of his mother. And because he is specially given protection by the Lord, the indication must be concluded that the child would be a first great devotee of the Lord with all good qualities. Therefore, the three grades of devotees, namely the Mahabhagavat, Madhyamadhikari, and Kanishtadhikari, those who go to the temples of the Lord and offer worship, respect to the deity without sufficient knowledge in the theological science, and therefore without any respect for the devotees of the Lord, are called the materialistic devotees or Kanishtadhikari. The third grade, devotees. Secondly, the devotees who have developed a mentality of genuine service to the Lord and who thus make friendship only with similar devotees, show favor to the neophytes and avoid the atheists, are called second grade devotees. But those who are seeing everything in the Lord or everything of the Lord and also see in everything an eternal relation of the Lord, so that there is nothing within the purview of sight except the Lord, are called the Mahabhagavatas, or the first great devotees of the Lord. Such first great devotees of the Lord are perfect in all respects. A devotee may be in any of these categories, is automatically qualified by all good qualities, and thus a Mahabhagavat devotee like Maharaj Parikshit is certainly perfect in all respects. And because Maharaj Parikshit took his birth in family of Maharaj Yudhishthir, his headrest here has Mahabhagavat, or the greatest of the fortunates. The family in which a Mahabhagavat takes his birth is fortunate because due to the birth of greatest of the birth of a first class devotee, the members of the family, past, present, and future, up to the 100 generations, become liberated by the grace of the Lord out of respect for his beloved devotee. Therefore, the highest benefit is done to one's family simply by becoming an unalloyed devotee of the Lord. Hare Krishna. So, before I begin to share points, I would like to offer my prayers. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकधामयं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे। श्रीमते जयवंत स्वामी So Hare Krishna. So we are discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam. So we have seen as to how Maharaj Parikshit has taken his birth, and he's so the Shaunaka Rishis, they're asking Sukadev Goswami to narrate about Parikshit Maharaj, as to how who is Parikshit Maharaj, and how did he take his birth and what happened after his birth. So they've asked about Parikshit Maharaj, who is Mahabhagavat, as Srila Prabhupada is writing in his purport, and all of us have it is such a valuable purport. All the purports of Srila Prabhupada, it could be in Srimad Bhagavatam or even in Bhagavad Gita, they are all such exemplary purports that we all can. There are such important takeaway points for us. So today's verse is also one of such verses wherein we as devotees can come to know as to what are the qualities of a devotee. Prabhupada has given various levels of devotee. Prabhupada has also written about how can one benefit the entire world and establish peace in the world. And for that, a person does not have to put an external effort. He has to just become a devotee of the Lord. So there are such wonderful points. So we'll just try and discuss some of the points. So here, when we go to the shloka, when we go back to the shloka, we can see that there are two important words mentioned here. That is Vishnurata. Vishnurata means the one who is being protected by Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So another one is Nasande. I think it is Nasandehas. That means one who where there is no doubts, right? So we can see that here Srila Prabhupada is writing that why is here Parikshit Maharaj is also known as a person who is being protected by Vishnu. Vishnurata. Vishnurata means a person who is being protected by Vishnu. So here Parikshit Maharaj is being addressed in this name. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is writing that when that Lord gives protection to all the living entities. right? So even we can see as to how the Lord is impartial. He never tells that, I'm providing sunlight, air, food, water only to my devotees. No, there are atheists all around. There are people who don't believe in God, who don't worship Him, but still the Lord considers all of us as His children, and He is protecting us and is providing us all the necessities. So there is no doubt that even though we are all conditioned souls, the Lord is still loving us and giving protection. But the most important point we can note here is that the Lord gives protection. He protects he protects all the living entities. But when the matter of his devotees come, the Lord becomes so, attached to his devotees, so merciful, that he comes down himself. When it is the matter of other living entities, the Lord provides the protection either directly or indirectly. But when the matter of his devotees comes into the picture, the Lord becomes so merciful that he comes down personally to help his devotees, to protect his devotees. So, with the same basis, when we go back to the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, we can see that how the Lord has been so merciful to his devotees. There are several pastimes, there are several instances that we all have again, heard so many times. So, just for my personal purification, I'll just try and quote so that we can remember such exalted devotees and such exemplary qualities of the Lord. So, when we turn back into the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, uh, we can see starting from Gajendra Moksha as to how the Lord, when Gajendra called, "Hey Govinda," the Lord himself came, and it is said that the Lord, he was in such a hurry to protect his devotee that he flew faster than Garuda, his own servant. He flew faster than Garuda. Why did he go? Even Garuda was his devotee, right? But he was so, eager to protect Gajendra, who was stuck, whose leg was stuck in the mouth of the crocodile. He was so, eager to protect the Gajendra, that he flew faster than Garuda. He in fact was telling he was telling Garuda to catch up with him. So that is how, fast the Lord was. That is how eager the Lord was to protect Gajendra. So we can see even in the life of Maharaj Parikshit, and we can even see in the purport, Prabhupada tells that Lord protects his devotees directly or indirectly. So in case of Prahlad Maharaj, what we can see is that when, Indra kidnapped Hiranyakashipu's wife, and she was Kayadu, and because Hiranyakashipu was a demon, and all the demigods were in fear because they were already being tortured by Hiranyakashipu. They didn't want another Hiranyakashipu to be born. So they thought that they will do Shishu Hatya, that is, kill Prahalad Maharaj. So Indra was taking, and that time, Narada Muni interrupts on his way, and he tells that, the child in the womb yeah, of Hiranyakashipu's wife is not an ordinary person. He's going to become a Mahabhagavat. He is an exalted devotee of Lord Vishnu. So that is what he tells. And this way, Lord's at the initial stages, Lord sends Narada Muni to protect Prahlad Maharaj. And as Prahlad Maharaj grows and as his bhakti intensifies, we can see as to how at the end the Lord himself comes as Lord, just takes an incarnation of Narsimhadev. He just takes a separate incarnation of Narsinghadev just to protect his dear devotee Prahlad Maharaj. So we should never. What can we understand from this is that we are not such exalted devotees like Prahlad Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, or Gajendra. That wherein Lord will himself come down to protect us. No, he can send his representatives. That is his representative is Guru is a representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when we are so dull-headed, and we are because of our less intelligent, we do not understand. right? So we are always expecting when Prabhupada is writing that for his devotees the Lord himself comes. We cannot think that for our own protection the Lord is going to come down. No, that's not going to happen. We are not pure devotees, but we can follow the footsteps of the pure devotees and understand that Lord will even come and help us indirectly. So we all know this famous story, right, wherein a person was drowning in the water and he was, praying to the Lord to provide him help and protection, to lift him from the water, to save his life. So then we as to how this person is drowning in the water, and after a while a ship comes, right? A ship comes, and the but this person, he refuses to get into the ship, telling that no, no, my Lord will come and protect me, I'm offering my prayers to him. Okay, and the boatman leaves, and after that, after a while, this another life saving agent is being sent. I think the helicopters or something is being sent to lift this drowning man. And this drowning man, he tells that no, no, I'm offering prayers to the Lord, the Lord will come and save me. And in this meantime, what happens, the water reaches above his body level, and he drowns into the water. And when he dies and he goes back to heaven, and that time he asks the Lord that, I am your devotee, I was expecting that you will come and help me, why didn't you come? So that time the Lord tells, I did come. I sent a boat for your help. Then I sent an helicopter. You were so foolish that you were thinking that I will personally come. But I sent, I sent boat, I sent an helicopter to help you, but you didn't realize it. So it is the same way even in our lives, when, Lord will not personally come because we are not exalted devotees, but he's so merciful that he will send his representatives, like it could be the guru or the devotees who get you into the path of Krishna consciousness. All of them are representing Krishna, so Krishna will help, directly or indirectly. So we can see when in the life of Draupadi, right, as to how when she was being undressed, in the entire she was being disrobed basically in front of the entire Sabha, in front of her own husbands and in front of Bhishma Dev, and all Dronacharya, all of them were present, and she was being disrobed by Duryodhana in front of the entire Sabha. And she started calling out to Govinda, and she's been expecting that the Lord will come and protect her. But the Lord did protect her. We can see that the Lord did protect her because she was a devotee of the Lord. The Lord did not come personally and protect her, right? But he provided his mercy, he provided his protection through unlimited sari. I was hearing from Amarendra Prabhu as to how he gave his unlimited mercy by providing unlimited sari to Draupadi. She was a pure devotee of the Lord. The Lord did help her, but it was an indirect way. So, the point I'm trying to make here is that the Lord will protect his devotees, because the Lord himself makes a statement, right? That my devotees will never perish. So his devotees will never perish, and the Lord will provide him all his devotees protection, either directly or indirectly. And the same thing is here with Parikshit Maharaj, wherein this time we have seen various instances where Lord protected the devotee in form of his holy name. The Lord protected his devotees by sending his representatives, by providing sari to Draupadi. But here, Parikshit Maharaj was so dear to the Supreme Lord that the Lord himself, he personally came, he entered the womb of Uttara, Mother Uttara, and protected Parikshit Maharaj. So this shows as to how dear Parikshit Maharaj was. And there were two reasons. There are two reasons as to why the Lord protected Parikshit Maharaj. The first one is that Parikshit Maharaj was a pure devotee of the Lord. So how do we tell that Parikshit Maharaj was a pure devotee of the Lord? He was not even born, he has not even performed any devotional service unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. But it is being told that here that he's been born in a family of Mahabhagavat. So anybody who has been born, Mahabhagavat here refers to Yudhishthir Maharaj, right? So anybody who is being born in the family of Mahabhagavat, they're so fortunate that they automatically become dear to, the Supreme Lord. So that is one of the reason, because Parikshit Maharaj was a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord. The Lord protected him. And the second reason why the Lord protected Parikshit Maharaj is because the Lord knew that there has to be dharma. If after Yudhishthir Maharaj, there is nobody to rule the kingdom of Hastinapur. It had to be Abhimanyu, but Abhimanyu, we know how he gets stuck in, I mean, how he's been killed and everything. And he's the last descendant. Parikshit Maharaj is the last person who can withhold and establish dharma, because we can see as to how the Lord tells, Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya, right? So he descends as in when there is a decline of religion, and when religious activities increases, he descends himself to establish the lost religion, the lost dharma. So in order to protect the religious people, the Lord protects Parikshit Maharaj. So these are the two important reasons as to why it is being mentioned that the Lord protects Parikshit Maharaj. So this is one of the points, that Lord always protects his pure devotees, either directly or indirectly through his representatives. So now moving on to the next point as to how the Lord, here it is being mentioned, Prabhupada gives. So how do we differentiate devotees? Prabhupada has given 3 levels of devotees, that is Kanishtadikari, Madhyamadikari and Mahabhagavat. And we all have discussed this topic several times as to how who is a Kanishtadikari, who is a Madhyamadikari, and who is a Mahabhagavat. So Kanishtadikari, we know, who comes to the temple, who worships the Supreme Lord because he is desiring some materialistic benefit. And Madhyamadikari is a person who knows, some philosophy of the Lord, and he has this mood to render service unto the lotus feet of the Lord. And maybe not, not like Mahabhagavat, wherein they're offering their entire life and soul for the service of the Lord, but in his day-to-day activity, he tries and remembers the Supreme Lord. But here, Srila Prabhupada is writing that Parikshit Maharaj is a Mahabhagavat. And who is a Mahabhagavat? Prabhupada has also mentioned it. Right? So Prabhupada writes that those who see everything in the Lord, or everything of the Lord, and also in also see in everything an eternal relation of the Lord, so that there is nothing within their purview or sight except the Lord, are called Mahabhagavat. So several times we have discussed, right, as to how there are 2 types of Bhagavad. One is the book Bhagavatam, and the other is the person Bhagavatam. So book Bhagavatam, we know as to how it is the literary incarnation of the Supreme Lord, and how the Lord incarnated in form of the scriptures. Srimad Bhagavatam is not different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And the Bhagavat, the other Bhagavat, the person Bhagavat, is even more auspicious. How is it? Because he follows all that is being a person who is leading his life, as it has been mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, is the person Bhagavat. So for there are several exalted examples for this. So one of us, it could be our Srila Prabhupada. Everything that was mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, how it was being mentioned, how the exalted devotees led their life, Srila Prabhupada, in the same way he has led his life. He has followed the same footsteps. He has followed the footsteps of Acharya, and he has set an exemplary example as to how he is a person Bhagavatam. And now even we can see our Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada is writing, those who see everything they see, they can only relate it with the Supreme Lord. Nothing, even the materialistic thing, they try and connect it with the Supreme Lord. So they are Mahabhagavats. They can see in everywhere, they can see nothing except Krishna being present in everything. So for this, our Guru Maharaj is an exalted example wherein I was hearing to it. Once it so happened that one of the secretaries of Guru Maharaj, he wore a shirt on which gap was written. Guru Maharaj looked at it and he instantly connected it with the Supreme Lord. He told it, "Oh, Govinda Purusham." So, nobody can think like that. Because Guru Maharaj is, leading his life so much connected. Everywhere he's seeing Krishna, even on something materialistic. Gap basically is a brand. But looking at it, even it is being a materialistic thing, Guru Maharaj is able to connect it with the Supreme Lord. He immediately remembered it's Govinda Purusham. So I was even listening to Guru Maharaj's class recently, and in that, Guru Maharaj was asked as to how because I think he was the devotee was a doctor, and Guru Maharaj was actually asked by this devotee, Guru Maharaj, I'm a doctor, and all the patients who come to me are, so involved in this materialistic activity. How do I preach to them? So Guru Maharaj was so thoughtful. He was so intelligent that he told that this doctor basically performs some coordination exercises and everything. So he recommends these exercises to the patients. So Guru Maharaj, caught this point, and he told, you have to ask them to touch their knee. And what is it? Knee. What do you call it in English? It's knee. And, in America, there is I mean, the kind of dressing they wear, they always try and, portray themselves to be formal. So they always, wear a tie with their formal attire, and they would be wearing a tie. So what do? You tell knee tie, knee tie. So it's become knee tie. And Guru Maharaj said, "This is knee, and whose knee it is? Mine. So it is knee, my, knee, my." So Guru Maharaj, you know how he chanted the names of Nitai and Nimai just by, something materialistic, he converted it into a spiritual thing. So that is what Prabhupada has written here, that he mentions telling us to how Mahabhagavats see the Supreme Lord in everything. So so automatically they become very dear to the Supreme Lord. So this was the second thing as to how Mahabhagavats can only see Krishna everywhere. And Parikshit Maharaj was so fortunate that even before his birth, Krishna himself came, and he saw Krishna in the womb, and that is why his name is Parikshit, right? Because he was examining, oh, where is that Supreme Lord, that effulgent person whom I saw in the womb? So, and that is how he becomes a Mahabhagavat, right? And here, as I said, this is one of the important words was Vishnurata, and another was Na Sandeha. So there will be no doubt that this uh, particular soul, Parikshit Maharaj, who is being born, will become an exalted devotee, and he'll be imbibed with all good qualities. So what are we supposed to learn here is that once a person becomes the devotee of the Supreme Lord Krishna, they don't have to make an internal effort to, imbibe the voice. It is naturally built, default setting, right? Nobody has to nobody has to go and attend separate classes for imbibing good qualities. So it is always said that good human, it's already inbuilt. He does not have to go, him go sit and perform extra efforts to imbibe those good qualities. That is what has been written even in the translation, that he'll become a first class devotee and will be qualified with all good qualities. So offer all nobody has to put external efforts. Nobody has to you know strive and make that effort of become imbibing all the good qualities. I think even in Bhagavad Gita there are a couple of qualities that has been mentioned. If if a particular person has those mentioned qualities, around 13 to 15 of those qualities, the Supreme Lord tells, oh, these people are very dear to me. So the solution for everything is becoming a devotee of the Lord. And even in the last line of the purport, Prabhupada has written the same thing. If a person becomes, the family in which a Mahabhagavad takes birth is fortunate, because due to his birth, the family's past, present, and future, not only past, present, and future, 100 generations get liberated. So one person has become a devotee of the Lord, he's not only performing a favor to himself, he's performing favor to the entire society. Kapiladev, incarnation of the Supreme Lord, he's instructing to his mother Devahuti that there are two kinds of people born in a family. One who gets the knowledge and who liberates himself, right? And the materialistic knowledge. And the other person is the person who gets the transcendental knowledge. He not only performs good to himself, but he develops the capacity of not only liberating himself, but liberating his entire 100 generations. So the same thing Srila Prabhupada has written, and such a person can only be a devotee. Only a devotee of the Supreme Lord can liberate 100 generations. So it is so there is no loss in becoming a devotee of the Lord. So that is what the Supreme Lord tells in Bhagavad Gita, right? Neha Bikrama Nastosti Pratyavayurna Vidyate Swalpam Apiyasya Dharmasya Trayate Mahato Bhayat. So even if you render a small, devotional service unto me, even if you render simple, small, loving devotional service unto me, then you are free from all the fear. You become fearless, right? So that is what Srila Prabhupada is he's mentioning here. So if even a single person becomes a devotee in the family, then he liberates all the 100 generations, and the past, present, and even the future generations get liberated. So you can know, so now we all know as to how we have to be thankful to Srila Prabhupada, because just by reading his purports, they've become exalted devotees. So if it was not for Srila Prabhupada, how could we read these exalted these shlokas, understand the translation and the purports? So we are all, being the grand disciples of Srila Prabhupada. It is because of Srila Prabhupada that we have become devotees. If Srila Prabhupada would have not been present, it would be impossible for us to, churn the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So because of Srila Prabhupada, we have become devotees. So we have to, try and maintain the standards of Srila Prabhupada. And if we do that, then as Prabhupada has written, then we'll, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we'll be able to go back home, back to Godhead. So just summarizing, the Srila Prabhupada is mentioned in the purport as to how one the Lord protects his devotees either directly or indirectly. And he has written he gave description about the different kinds of devotees, and who is a Mahabhagavat, and how a Mahabhagavat sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord, and he can see nothing else except Krishna everywhere. And just by becoming the devotee of the Supreme Lord, one can liberate his 100 generations. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I stop here. So Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Patit Pavan Guru Maharaj ki jai.